So Donald Trump keeps waging his war against America. And if you take a look at this, you'll see what's happening at Home Depots. Let's watch.
No diga nada. You have a warrant? Where's your warrant? Identify yourself. Where's your warrant? You have a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Identify yourself.
What the fuck are you? Y'all got nothing to do. Come on now. Let's go. Where you at?
We got federal agents here with, I don't know, firearms.
Mano.
And so you can see this is at a Home Depot. If you've never been to the USA, basically these are hardware stores, and you can see they'll send like these white cars. They'll have all these masked people, lots of guns, and they'll, you know, arrest one person, and then you'll have local bystanders take video and be like, hey, where's your warrant? Who are you people? These kind of things. We've seen this scene, unfortunately, play out several times now. I'm just showing to you guys because, unfortunately, we don't talk about it enough. This is what's happening in America. You also have this, attacks on education and particular groups. Trump aims to end millions in grants to colleges with high Hispanic populations. I mean, you can see it right here. This is Trump. That's what he's doing. And now we're talking about putting more weapons on the streets. Hegseth, so that's the defense secretary, authorizes National Guard to carry weapons in DC deployment.
I'm gonna get your mom and your dad.
You guys can't tell him that though.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you can take it. Then go get his mom.
Yeah. Yeah, identify yourself. I need you guys to back. Hey, back up. We don't have to show you nothing. Hey, get back. Get back. Get back. I don't get back. I don't have to show you anything. You guys don't have any. What does that say? What does that say? That's identified. We got a warrant. We got a warrant.
But you don't have to remember.
Who are you? Can you guys hear me? Who are you?
And you can see it's just chaos. So again, these are ICE agents. They run around with masks. People, you know, nearby are showing their cameras. That's why you have to put this stuff out there. And then you get in some really complicated stuff about the USA because there are 50 states. It's a diverse place, the USA. So everyone's going to have a different experience. And some people just prefer to ignore certain experiences. I try to show you as much as I can. So for an example, this is an experience of, say, Latinos in America. Listen to this.
Are we witnessing an end to lonchera culture? Loncheras are women who sell home-cooked meals from their cars. They normally park outside construction sites, factories, and parking lots, offering affordable food to blue-collar workers. For many migrants, this is the only affordable option, considering that lunches, on average, go as high as $20 per meal. But in the last few months, loncheras are disappearing, and so are the workers they serve. Trump's immigration crackdown has made their usual spots unsafe. ICE raids are happening at job sites where both vendors and customers gather, and many women are too afraid to keep showing up, especially considering how they also face the threat of ICE impersonators who are kidnapping and assaulting Latinas. Sometimes, loncheras also rely on social media to market their food and reach new customers. Now that source of income is drying up as vendors step back from visibility. The impact goes beyond one group of workers. The US Latino economy is the 5th largest in the world, just behind California's. And with crackdowns like these, that economy is directly under threat. For many workers, having access to a lonchera wasn't just about affordability. It was a privilege to eat homemade meals, often healthier than the ultra-processed options at fast food chains. With their disappearance, an essential part of daily life and culture.
You know, honestly, it's hard for me to watch this stuff too, but it's important for people to understand what's happening. Just because I'm not Latino doesn't mean I don't care about Latino people. Like literally, I do. I care about all people, but it's also frustrating if you understand this stuff, and I make it really clear. YouTube is a kind of situation to where you can watch any channel that you want, but for many people, they only want to hear a certain kind of view, okay? And I'll just be blunt about it. Much of what many people watch on YouTube, essentially white guys saying, this is my view as a white guy on, you know, politics or money or whatever, stuff like that. And yeah, sure, if you want to watch that kind of point of view, you can definitely see that. It's all over YouTube. But there are other points of views out there. You can see I'm obviously not white, but I understand in USA, if you want to be popular, being white gives you an advantage. It's just the reality, because if much of the audience is white, they want to watch white people's point of view. And then this sort of, how can I say, limited amount of things that you think about will continue. And it's sad. And there's different types of people in USA. And much of what we have with, say, the Trump situation is, say, people just live in a completely different community. So they have no idea. Say the people who are cheering on the stuff going on in, oh, I love ICE raid, for example. People who say, I love ICE raids in LA, or I love what people are doing, what Trump is doing with the military in DC. They've never been to these places, right? And it's frustrating. And then even people, though, who support, say, more, we'll say blue states, this kind of stuff, are in a similar situation where they don't necessarily want to hear voices who are non-white. It's frustrating. And so that's why it's a good reminder for me to remind all of you as well, is that there are other types of people out there other than just a white person point of view. And whenever you bring this stuff up, also people also get upset. And it's hard to talk about these things because, again, that's your majority of your audience. They don't want to hear this stuff. They don't want to see this stuff. But our community is different because much of you are not American. So you don't necessarily play by the rules that Americans want to play by, right? Or watch what Americans want to watch. So this is our community, our channel. 46% of you in the last, month are American, but then that means 54% of you are not. And so you're used to hearing my point of view. I'm American. I'm completely American. But I just have a different point of view than, say, white America, right? And also, to be clear on this stuff, white America can mean all different kinds of things as well. It gets to be very complicated. And this is part of education and getting different points of view, is understanding that there are different types of people in the world. That's really, really key. So let's see what else is going on. Trump is talking about sending troops to more cities, but again, this will affect some communities and not affect others. So let's see what we're saying here.
Mayor Brandon Johnson vowing legal action if National Guard troops are deployed to Chicago, saying the president is trying to sow division in Democratic-led cities.
What the president is claiming that he wants troops to do, they don't even have the authority to do it. They have no arresting powers.
The mayor responding to President Donald Trump, who said he'll be expanding National Guard deployments to cities other than Washington.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this.
The president's Oval Office comments come as Chicago police data shows overall crime since the first of the year is down 13% compared to the same period last year, and violent crime is down 23%.
I think he wants to provoke violence, because if he can provoke violence, then it's going to be martial law.
Turning the federal military on American citizens is a sign of authoritarianism.
And people who understand what Trump is trying to do know that the seriousness of this stuff. That's why I'm showing you guys these things. And again, there's different points of view, because for people who, love Trump and they think Trump's a hero, they've never been in these places. They've probably never been to Chicago. They've probably never been to DC, LA, these kind of stuff. So, for them, this kind of stuff is like foreign nations. I want you to hear different points of view also. This is from a black gentleman. What does he have to say about this kind of stuff?
If you think Trump's plan to take over DC's police department is about catching crime, it's not. This is about stoking white fear, making black people seem dangerous. The Trump administration wasted no time, less than half a day before, posting photos of black men they've arrested on the official White House social media pages. It's a calculated move to stigmatize black people, especially black men, as criminal thugs to be feared. There is not even a single white man that they have arrested and posted on the social media page, y'all.
I tell you guys about this stuff all the time, but oftentimes this stuff is invisible to much of America, right? They'll turn over to Fox News and they'll learn about all of these. This is at Fox News. They'll learn about all of these people that, look a certain kind of way, and they'll say, oh, well, it must be that kind of people. They're all dangerous, right? That's what Fox News does all the time. But if there's a, white criminal who does either a school shooting or, any kind of thing, then Fox will just kind of bury that story, won't show a picture, if you guys understand. So again, I just want to give you different point of views that you may not hear elsewhere. This is another point of view. And all these kind of things with anything, everyone has a different point of view. So
one of the reasons Donald Trump is able to do what he's doing in D.C. with the military takeover there is because the majority of white people are okay with it. And I'm not only talking about MAGA Republicans. The majority of white people are okay with it or indifferent to it. Not all. Gotta say that on the internet because people go crazy, but most. And let me tell you why. The over-policing of black people is as American as apple pie, as they say. Because the whole idea of the police is to over-police black people. That's their main function, no matter what else you think. That's why they were created as slave catchers, and that's why they're there now, to protect white people against black people. And as a matter of fact...
And there's different points of view in this, but that's one point of view. And I'll just say this, and it's something that we don't talk about enough, and that's why it started with education and Trump's attacks on education and, you know, Hispanic population, is instead of talking about, hey guys, we need to put more police on the streets and we need more guns on the streets, what we really should be talking about is, hey, how can we make healthcare affordable? Hey, how can we make transportation affordable? Hey, how can we put more education on the streets? How can we get more books on the streets? How can we get more people to learn to read? Like, this stuff matters. But from the Trump point of view, right, is like, well, we need to get more police and punish people who aren't white, effectively. That's what it ends up being. Now, I appreciate this gentleman was saying, hey, not all white people are the same, which is the same. Not all black people are the same. Not all Asian people are the same. Not all Latino people are the same. There are lots of different points of view in the world, and part of what makes living in USA so difficult is because for some groups in USA, they don't like to acknowledge that there are other groups. And then you get, you know, the more groups that you have in USA, it becomes very complicated for people to keep track of like all the different types of people. But that's what makes USA fun to live in. I mean, I'm telling you, the diversity is part of the fun. But for some people, they think, no, USA shouldn't be diverse. We should all only speak one language. We should all have the same religion. We should all look the same way, etc., dress the same way. Some people think that way in USA. I disagree, but that is a different point of view.
I wish, Molly, that the president was actually serious about curbing crime in any city. I am in the region of Philadelphia, my beloved city. We struggle with crime. We struggle with gun violence. This president doesn't give a damn about crime. He's pulling a stunt tonight when he rides around with the National Guard. And it is extremely frightening that he will do this in other cities. My team is down in D.C. while I'm back in the district, and they said where the National Guard is so odd and inept. They're not able to do law enforcement. They're at Union Station. They're on the mall. This is a show for the president. This is not serious about mothers who care about crime, mothers who care about gun violence. And think of the contrast. At the very same time, Janine Pierre, or however you say her name, said we will not be putting federal accusations or charges against folks in D.C. who walk around with long guns, who walk around with rifles. This is not a president who's serious about crime.
So I know these are complicated topics and very touchy issues, but I wanted to give you a different point of view and remind you that there are lots of different types of people in the world, and that is a good thing. It is a good thing that we have different languages, we have different cultures, different foods, different ways of living, and I try my best just to share that with you and to expose you to different things you may not have heard before. So I do appreciate your time, everyone, and I'll catch you all in the next video.